I was gonna go trip around the city for a minute yesterday. I was like, fuck, I didn't do anything.
Is this one of your first times being in the Raleigh area? Looking around the city?
Nah, man, we've been up in the, I mean, we played here before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
we here with Shinedown some years ago.
Well, he was mentioning something got rained out is what he mentioned to me.
I think the show went on later, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was just a fucking...
on there for it.
You know, like a fucking river coming down the hill.
Yeah, and hopefully that won't happen tonight. I don't think it will.
No, man, look at the skies.
So,
do I have to hold this here, or is it
cool
kill here?
That's fine, yep. I got it so at least it'll be a good level for you. So one of the things I do want to ask you guys, obviously put out the new album, Who Do You Trust? That just came out January 19th of this year, if I think.
Yes, sir.
Correct on that, I believe so. Now, everybody pretty much should know by now, you guys have sold over 20 million records worldwide, which is astonishing to let you know. That's an amazing feat. And it's
a lot of plastic.
Fucking
cool.
Roaming around the world, man.
That's dope.
Around the world. So I kind of wanted to know, after, basically I started in 1993, with 20 plus years of creating music, has your style changed in the recording aspect of it?
Oh, totally, man. It's evolved tremendously. You know, we started out recording onto tape back in the day, you know, and then it evolved to using Pro Tools, but then still going to tape at the same time, and then the tape machines have been phased out, and you're just going straight digital. And so the evolution of that has been interesting for us. But I mean, you know, I'm just a singer. You know, I show up, just sing my guts out, and that's what it's all about for me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's and even with the writing as well, like the process has changed. You know, it used to be we get in a rehearsal room and play a song 20 times before we laid it down to record it. Now we're just writing shit in the studio. We're like in the room, just getting it, throwing it down right there. And I think that spontaneity and kind of capturing the moment makes for some really fun, exciting experiences in the studio.
That's what I was going to ask. My other question was, do you guys go in separate ways and record different things and go in the studio and say, okay, I like this, I like that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever go back to even old stuff that you wrote that might not have made it to a record and
man.
pick and choose little parts?
Who Do You Trust was something that we wrote while we were making Crooked Teeth, and we just didn't feel like it fit the record. Mm-hmm. And we went back in and rewrote something that we had, you know, taken it and using it as like a springboard to like take it to that next level, take it to the place it needed to be. And you know, we've done that with a few songs on this record. On an album called Crooked Teeth, there was a riff that is the chorus for Traumatic that we've been playing that riff in the studio for like 8 years. Like, and we just could never figure out how to like put it into a song, and then finally it just found its way in. So sometimes, you know, music is like it doesn't feel like it's the right time for it, but you know it's dope, so you're like, I'm gonna hold on to that one.
We kind of look at that same way as photography. We might look at old photographs and look back and be like, I'm not too sure about it, and then a couple years later we look back and be like, okay, this is actually a pretty cool picture. I like this one.
I feel that, man.
Now, one of the songs that I love off the new album is number 6, called Come Around.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the composition, the mixture of it, and it does have, to me at least, it gave me like a lyrical emotion to it, like there's a powerful emotion to it. How was that song written, and how did it come together, and is there a message you wanted to convey to fans through that song?
Well, the way the song was written was one of those, you know, we're all in the room together throwing ideas at each other, and the chorus came about, and the chord progression, and we all loved the chorus, but the overall song in general was just kind of like, it's kind of just feels half-baked. It's not hitting the mark, so we stepped away from it for a while, but we always were like, man, that melody just is stuck in my head. Like we need to go back to that and see if we can take it to the house. And the band, yeah, man, I remember sitting in the room while Jerry and Tobin were working on the riff, and I was just like, this is fucking dope. Now it's like, it literally went from like, I fucking hate this, the melody's cool, but the music is to we went in and kind of retooled it and evolved it into what it needed to be, and then I was like, it's one of my favorite songs on the record.
When I heard it, I was like, like I had it when they sent it to me, I had it on repeat, and I was like, okay, I gotta get this song in my head on here.
Yeah, and lyrically, you know, it's about sticking through it with somebody that's going to hell, you know.
That's one of the things, actually, when I wrote on here, I was like, to me, it was this feeling of, because I've had, and I'm not afraid to say it, I've battled with addiction.
Yeah, me too.
And so when I was in that point, like, the people that stuck by me, to me, it felt like that song of being like, don't give up, you know, it's, they'll come around when they come around kind of thing.
Yep, and for me, you know, it's, I've been on both sides of that. You know, I've been the person that's like, hey man, I'll be here when you come around, and I've been the other motherfucker that's like, ooh, I'm losing it. You know, and I think that to be able to have both of those experiences and have the knowledge and the experience from that, you know, I think it's important to have those experiences, to see the world or situations from both sides.
It gives you a better perspective on how to look at things.
I try to see a lot of things in this world from both sides. Sometimes it's hard for me to have my convictions, because I can see why somebody would feel one way, and then I can see why another person would feel the opposite way. Like I can empathize with like both sides. You know, it's strange for me sometimes, because I'm like, I'm very opinionated, but then on other things I'm like, man, like I understand why you're pissed, and I understand why you're fucking pissed.
That's what my friends
say
about me. Yeah, that's so true. And another song that I really liked on the record is a song called "Problems."
Oh yeah.
And that's a pretty powerful song, and the guitar work that is it Jerry that
Yes.
does a lot of guitar work on that. The way that the guitar riff is written at the beginning, it sucks you in.
Oh yeah.
And that was when I first heard it. I mean, literally, it was like I just stopped everything. I said, "All right, let me listen to this song."
Yeah.
And it sucks you in.
I think it's important.
So how did the riff come about with that song?
So we wrote the song, and then we were just like, it just feels like it's lacking in the guitar, in the guitar work on the track. Lyrics are great, chord progressions are great, all the the guitar work that's there is great. It just needs like this candy on top of it, you know. And so Jerry went in, and I remember I was gone. I was out. I went back home for like a week or two or something like that, and just got to get a break sometimes.
Yeah.
And I came back, and they were like, "Dude, you're gonna love what we did to the track." And I heard it, and I had the same feeling you did. I was just like, "There it is!"
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
It makes you want to listen to it even more. Like it just keeps you sucked into it, and that's why I love that track.
Yeah, I really like also like the juxtaposition of the struggle in the lyrics with this like bright, shiny, happy, positive song. You know, I think it's that juxtaposition makes it worthwhile to me.
Yeah.
Because if it was just a shiny, happy people track, I'm just it's not where I'm. That's not the space I write from.
Yeah.
You know?
You have kind of multiple spaces that you're writing from.
Yeah, I like a little darkness in my lyric.
And one of the things that you were quoted saying for this new record, we wanted a new chapter in our career. We wanted to carve a new path for this new record. What does this new record mean to you guys? Like, how important is it for this record to be written and to be shared out to the world?
I think what's really important to me about this album is that it shows the different sides of who we are, because I feel like sometimes promoters or fans or managers or industry really like to like compartmentalize what art is, right? Like, oh, it's just this, it's in your face, far away, wet, dry sound. You know, they try to come up with like a box for you to fit in, and I feel that like I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like we got elements of metal, we got elements of punk, we got elements of rock and roll, we got elements of hip hop, electronic, pop music. Like we have all these things that we love about music, and it's we had to make a record that was a bit more, I guess, alternative feeling to really make that statement. Because
it shows a blend. It shows a blend of different styles within this record, and it's something I think, at least from the records that I've listened to for you guys over the years, it is a little bit of a different sound.
Oh yeah,
it has
most
a different
definitely.
Mixture into it, and I've seen a lot of fans be confused by that.
Yeah, man.
Confused, but one of
it's
the things
all right.
is that every band has to evolve and change, and they have to find this new kind of path.
It's our 10th record. People were confused when we put out Scars.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they were like, "What's happening?" And now it's like a P. Roach classic.
Yeah.
Like you can't imagine go to a P. Roach show without us playing that song. Yeah. And so sometimes it takes a minute for it to settle in. Mm-hmm. It's like I remember when the first time I heard the song "The Pretender" by the Foo Fighters, and I was like, I'm not feeling this. And now it's my favorite song.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how that works, and so
I've done that with many songs too before. tour.
Yeah.
One of the we got questions actually from fans that wanted to ask, and this is the most popular one that we had. What can you live without when you're on tour? What do you have to have with you when you're on tour?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it, dude. This fucking device, man. This thing, dude. It's like I'm able to communicate with my family back home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to find restaurants when I need to find them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm a cyborg when I have this thing in my hand, and I kind of enjoy being a cyborg.
And if you kind of think about it, you guys had grown up in that era where we didn't have any stuff, so you had to go out and either get some way to run out to find a restaurant or something.
But when I go home, this thing goes in a fucking box.
Really?
I'll take it with me to the grocery store or something like that. Yeah. So my old lady, she could holler at me and be like, "Hey, can you pick up blah blah blah?" All right, cool. But when I get home, I'm like, that thing just goes away. You know, so when I'm out here, it's a great way to stay connected with my loved ones.
I think the fans will love that because they're all attached to their phones too as well. So they will love that too. And one last thing.
But it's good to put that fucking thing down every once in a while for like an extended period of time.
I have issues with that. I'll actually sit there and I've actually been at photo shoots and I find myself go like this, put it away and like to concentrate on the task.
Yeah, just stay in the moment, stay in the zone.
And one of the questions I want to ask before we head on to the show, when performing live, is there certain songs that you guys love to play that you get the feedback and power back from that you're like, okay, this song is definitely going on the set list?
Oh, fucking Born for Greatness is one of those songs for sure, dude. That's like, that's a heater.
Yeah.
To Be Loved, Scars. You know, it's the Last Resort. Well, you know, on this tour so far, every night we've kind of been switching it up, throwing a couple different songs in there just to feel what the right flow is for the set, because we just came back from Europe and we have a bit of a different audience in Europe. Europe is a bit younger. It's more not based off of mainstream rock kind of thing. It's more like underground, like core fans, you know what I mean? And not that we don't have core fans in America, we do, but it's just a different energy in Europe. And in Europe, it's like they're just fucking nuts, like straight up, dude. They're just the energy is like. So in the States, it's like it's not as intense, you know. So how do we build this show that takes the crowd on the journey that we feel we want to take them on? And we're very and part of it is, you know, I got a friend out with me on the road. He's all, dude, your show was amazing. It was so good. And I'm like in the dressing room and I'm like, fucking, because I want it to be perfect. I know it's not going to be perfect, but I always want it to be. And so that has to do with song selection and pacing of songs and tempos. And it takes a few shows to really kind of figure that out, you know. And I'm a creature of habit too. So once I get something that really works, I like to hammer it to the people because it works.
Well, you guys, I saw you open up for Shinedown, the photograph Shinedown last year.
Okay.
Last year. And I saw you guys play, and it was just a light show spectacle. And you came out to the front stage area, and I took a cell phone picture to show people that we were there. And just, I wish I had it on my phone. I would show you, but you're like this, and it's this epic.
Yeah, it's a moment, huh?
Background, and I was like, all right, he's having a good time. Yeah, he's having a good time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Right there. I love what I do. We love what we do.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans before any new music coming out, new music video, anything that you guys
we're actually working on a music video for Come Around right now.
Oh, sweet.
And so that's going to be our next single. It's service to radio now, so we're excited about that. What are we doing? After this, we're going to go on another tour, Shinedown, with Asking Alexandria again. So we're doing that one. It's like time. It's we're dipping back in.
I've seen you guys twice. I think it was twice we shined.
Yeah.
Each time you guys are always together.
Yeah, it's a banger, dude. Awesome. It's a good concert, dude. I love those guys. Then after that, we're going to take a little break. We're going to do a little run, and then we're going down to South America, Mexico, Australia. I'm not sure about Japan. Next year is the 20th anniversary of Infest as well, our first record. So it's wild. Oh my god. Fuck.
I was thinking about when I first heard you guys, and I was like, oh my god, that means something, because I just turned 40. I'm like,
all right.
We're getting older. What is
Happy birthday, bro.
I went to bed one day at 25, woke up the next day.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit. Hey man, this is 40, dog. Yeah. Looks pretty good, huh, motherfuckers?
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you talking with me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
And good luck with the show and have an awesome time. I'll be out there taking
I think we're going to bang it out. I think it'll be a good night tonight, dude.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for talking with me so much. I really do.